I don't know that much about the lipstick killer. We'll get into it. That's a story that we'll get into in a future episode. From what I can see, there's some similarities, but again, you're blaming Hodel, and Hodel is not Thanos.
Did you mention? Did have
Jesus
we mentioned
Christ, man!
the death of this in 1949? The death of this beauty shop operator in Los Angeles. So it says the investigation
No, you
stalled
go
for the
ahead and
next
fill us
couple of
in.
years after 1947 until the summer of 1949 with the discovery of another body. This one of a beauty shop operator, Louise Springer, was found inside of a parked car a block away from where Elizabeth Short's remains were dumped. Publicity surrounding the murder frightened the Los Angeles area women into believing that the Black Dahlia killer had struck again. The LAPD launched another manhunt, assigning officers across the city to investigate both murders, including a house-to-house search for evidence. And then police later determined the cases to be unrelated.
I mentioned Springer before when I was
Yeah,
talking about
so
Hodel, but
apparently the
I didn't
LAPD
name
found no
what
connection
exactly had
between the
happened.
two, but it was just a block away from where the Elizabeth Short's remains were found. So
I see. Hmm.
and that's the last time. That's the last time there was an
Oh
official
boy.
investigation. But if you go on FBI's website,
Yeah.
yeah, literally, if you go to FBI.gov,
Which I have
history,
been on,
famous
yes.
cases of Black Dahlia, um, it has little to no information about any other attempts at an official investigation since then.
Right. I mean, especially since it's so any suspect that you would possibly bring up or in
Right.
the future possibly bring up would be dead. The original detectives are all dead. So yeah, this is a murder case that, unless there's some sort of footage out there, you're not going to solve. You're just going to have theories on it. Let's go through a couple of quick other theories that are out there. In 1994, John Gilmore wrote a book called Severed, the true story of the Black Dahlia murder, suggesting a possible connection between Short's murder and that of Georgetta Bangoff, a socialite who was strangled to death in her West Hollywood home in 1944. Gilmore suggested Short's employment in the Hollywood canteen, where Bangoff also worked as a hostess, but could be a potential connection between the two women. However, the claim that Short ever worked in the Hollywood canteens was disputed by others, such as retired Times copy editor Larry Henrich. In 2017 book Black Dahlia, Red Rose by Peter Eatwell focuses on Leslie Dillon, a bellhop who was a former mortician's assistant. His associates Mark Hansen and Jeff Connors, and Sergeant Phineas Brown, a lead detective who had links to Hansen and was allegedly corrupt. Eatwell posts that Short was murdered because she knew too much about the men's involvement in a scheme for robbing hotels. She further suggests that Short was killed at the Ensler Motel in Los Angeles, where the owners reported finding one of their rooms covered in blood and fecal matter on the morning of Short's body was found. The Examiner stated in 1949 that L.A. Police Chief William A. Wharton denied that the Flower Street Ensler Hotel had anything to do with the case, though its rival newspaper, the Los Angeles Herald, claims that the murder took place where. Eatwell is working on a television documentary, and a revised edition of her book is due to be released in the autumn of 2018, which should be out right now. In 2000, Buzz Williams, a retired detective with the Long Beach Police Department, wrote an article for the Long Beach Police Department newsletter, The Rap Sheet, on Short's murder. Williams' father, William F. Williams, Richard F. Williams, and his friend Con Kellier were both members of the LA Gangster Squad investigating the case. Williams Sr. believed that Dillon was the killer, and that when Dillon returned to his home state in Oklahoma, he was able to avoid extradition to California because his ex-wife, Georgia Stevenson, was second cousins to Governor Adlai Stevenson II of Illinois, who had contacted the governor of Oklahoma on Dillon's behalf. Keller believed Hansen was the killer, as he had studied at a surgical school in Sweden and had thrown elaborate parties attended by prominent LAPD officials. Williams' article states that Dillon sued the LAPD for $3 million, but the suit was dropped. Hammond disputes that Dillon was cleared by the police after extensive investigation and that the district attorney's files positively placed him in San Francisco when Short was killed. Hamrich claimed that there was no LAPD cover-up, and Dillon did in fact receive a financial settlement from the city of Los Angeles, but had not produced concrete evidence to produce this. I believe he's saying that Dillon, who was Dillon? Oh, Leslie Dillon. Okay. The socialite murder, I don't think this has any connection to Elizabeth Short's murder. The Astor Hotel being covered in blood and fecal matter, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a case that
No, it's just been, like you're saying, it's been too long, and
it's never gonna
the
solve.
detectives that were involved in the investigation are dead. Most, if not all, of the prime suspects are dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Hodel seems to be the closest, I guess. You'll get to a prime suspect, but
yeah, I believe so too. But let's get to that in a second. Short was interned at the Mountain View Cemetery in Oakland. After her younger sisters had grown up and married, her mother, Phoebe, moved to Oakland to be near her daughter's grave. She finally returned to the East Coast, in the 1970s, which she lived to her 90s. On February 2nd, 1947, just 2 weeks after Short's murder, Republican State Assemblyman C. Donald Fields was prompted by the case to introduce a bill calling for the formation of a sex offender registry. The state of California would become the first state to make the registration of sex offenders mandatory. And this case has gone on to inspire lots of books, films, such as the Black Dahlia, which is based on the James Elroy 1987 novel with the same name. It was made in film 2006 by Brian De Palma. I Am the Night miniseries last year. Again, we had said the game L.A. Noire. There's also a Black Dahlia Avenger band, supposedly. It was covered in a little bit. Well, Elizabeth Short was covered in American Horror Story in 2011. Yeah, there's a lot. And who we think we did, I point to Hodel. I think it's George Hodel. I mean, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that puts him right there. I mean, even though most of it is circumstantial, but yeah, it points to Hodel. I believe it's Hodel. I don't think it's the same person as Cleveland Torso murder. I still think it might be a possibility between the murders of Springer and Short, but everything all the evidence it points out is that
Yeah, that's what it seems
it
to be
points to
too,
George
for
Odell
from what I can
being
see.
the murderer. Yeah.
An interesting case. Like I said,
Yeah. Final thoughts, Uncle?
the movie that inspired it, or the movie that was inspired by it, was pretty good. You know, I'm sure we're gonna
Yeah.
see. Well, you said no. You said it was already an episode of Unsolved Mysteries back in the '90s, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they did a remake of it or something and came out with the
Right.
new
Yeah.
series on Netflix. Um,
I don't know if they're going to look into that case again because it's so world famous and so many people have done it. But yeah, yeah.
I mean, it definitely makes me want to go
But
back
yeah,
and watch
I
that
can see
episode
where
from the
you might
'90s.
think that.
Yeah, I mean, Unsolved will continue to be unsolved. It seems like it's just been too damn long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. Also, you might want to look at the BuzzFeed. They do a couple episodes on it. They do a early episode, and then they go back and do it again. Yeah, an Unsolved Mysteries episode on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and other documentaries they've done on it. So, but yeah, that was the Black Dahlia.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there isn't much else to say about it.
So
The guy
yeah,
died in 1999. We believe he was the prime suspect, and the case will remain a cold case.
yes, yeah, it is one of the most famous cold cases that's out there. So yeah, but that was the Black Dahlia. That was the case. I know you wanted to get to that, Uncle. And I remember when we did the Cleveland torso murder, you thought that it was a string. The Black Dahlia was a string of serial killers. I was like, no, it's just one killing, but
I was wearing my
possibly
conspiracy
it
hat
could
back
be.
then.
um, Yes, yes. You were on a point. There was a couple of possible answers to that, but yeah. Yeah, that was that case. Well, we only got a couple more to do this year, especially this trying time. Again, that's probably going to do a retrospect of this year for our last episode. But we're gonna try to before then. We're gonna try to get in one more case. Uh, I don't know if it's going to be true time. I think we need to switch it up to either UFOs or
We really
ghosts
have. I mean, how many
or
cases have we
crypto
covered?
because
Yeah,
we've done
you're
so
right.
much true crime this year. Yeah, yeah. Halloween episode was true crime. The episode of that towards true crime. I was just like, look, we got to mix this up. So, yeah. So we're gonna try to get in one more before the year-end retrospect because this was a long, trying,
Yeah, yes
horrible,
we are.
terrible
Yes we are.
year.
Lord
But we're
willing.
gonna get through it. So, um, yeah, and next year, after that, next year, hopefully, be a better year, and we'll get some more cases out to you. Yeah, so this episode is going to be released right before Thanksgiving. We ask that if you are going to spend time with your family for Thanksgiving, that they are in the immediate area and you don't go out someplace far. I'm already looking at the news right now, and people are just going, fuck it, we're going out to spend Thanksgiving with our loved ones. Possible recipe for a disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know who got this
It's
thing and who doesn't.
a strange Thanksgiving that's
But
going to be next week. Um, for those of you, if you, including myself, actually, if you choose to go against the guidance from the state, then not stay home. Just socially distance and goddamn wear a mask.
yeah, please wear a damn mask. Anywhere you go, wear a damn mask. If you're going to be with someone that you're not in contact with all the time, wear the damn mask. Please. The vaccine is coming. There's light at the end of this tunnel,